I grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Saw the Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze.
What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another Mets Roundtable podcast right here on almost all of our channels, but we got it all throughout YouTube today. And for the best hour on YouTube, we got it spread it across YouTube for everybody to see. So let's welcome the Roundtable here today. We're going to start with Chris. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Another great roundtable here. Wow, this is a good time, I guess, to talk some Mets with a comeback win. So hopefully we can have some positive thoughts here for once, because obviously the National Series was great. We came into this Phillies series wanting a split, and somehow, one way or another, the Mets delivered in that category. So I'm doing great. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for being with us here to close out your weekend. Hit that thumbs up on all streams. Make sure you don't forget and subscribe to everyone's channel. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And we got this guy over here who's looking down with that McHits shirt right now. Hey, Hector, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. I mean, like Hayden said, like CP said, you know, I'll take a split. I wouldn't say I wanted a split. I always want to try to sweep. If I can, any series, 2-game series, 3-game series, whatever it is. But obviously, no. You take the sweep, you run with it. You take the win, ugly win, leaves a bad taste in your mouth, whatever you want to say. But any win, we take it. At least I take it. As a Met fan, especially at this moment. I understand the big picture and how people feel about the team, whether you blow it up, don't blow it up, all that good stuff. But no, right now, I'll focus on right now. Listen, like our owner said, it's too far away to be talking about the trade deadline. Didn't I say that the last roundtable? There's no reason to be talking about the trade deadline right now. It's obvious if this team is nowhere near any player contention when that time comes, that they will do what they have to do. But no, man, right now, just happy with the win and hoping that they keep it going. I'll be honest, hoping that they keep it going, even as frustrated as I get with this team and all that good stuff. But besides that, again, like CP said, thank you to everybody for tuning in, and hopefully we give you a good hour or so of Mets talk and stuff like that. But thank you guys. Do all that good stuff that CP says. Sign, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff to all of us. Not me, but to all of us. And hopefully, you guys enjoy what we got here. But yeah.
Absolutely. And last but not least is Hayden. Hayden, how you doing? It's looking good. We're a little happy today. I see smiles.
Yeah, I was gonna say a very rare smile from this New York Mets team this season. But yeah, Mets Talk with Hayden is the name. Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately didn't really I didn't really get the chance to watch the London series much. Just it was during the day, had work and other priorities to take care of. But I did, watch the game a little bit periodically on the MLB app, and obviously I saw the highlights after. So take a split, a lot better than I thought. I thought it was going to be a nightmare in London, but I'm satisfied. A split against best team in baseball, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It wasn't looking good. I tell you right now. The group chat was interesting. I was live during the game, and you guys are, Chris was in the chat. Hector was going on the round table. I mean, in the group chat, and it was the funny thing too, because I was like, the big boys are coming up. The bottom of the order did their job, and the big boys are coming up. And thank God Pete Alonso does his squats with his big ass thigh getting in the way to give us the lead by getting hit by that pitch. Hey, listen, clutch is clutch, baby. You do it any way you can, right? Where did it come true? Nemo came through earlier in the game, but like, man, I thought they weren't going to score another run. I thought they were going to tie the game and blow it in the bottom of the ninth, and they got a couple more runs. And look, they got the lead. The ninth inning was exactly how we pictured it. Absolutely insane. And there is no better win than how the Mets win today, because it was exactly how we drew it up. I know anybody wanted an easy win, right? We wanted to have it very difficult and down to the wire. And Luis Torrens, what a great play. I mean, I thought he was going to throw the ball the first because why not? Because, in that moment you kind of panic, but he realized get the force at home, and Castellanos runs like Vientos and has like rocks in his pants, and he got the double play and we won the ball game. So, and by the way, that was a dirty slide at home plate. If you looked at the replay, that was dirty. Look, in baseball terms today, it was dirty. I know Hector was used to pile driving people at home plate, back in the heyday, but listen, we got the victory, and that's what counts. And heck, I'm going to start with you because, I was ready for Pete Alonso to kind of blow it. I mean, stick your leg in there. I don't care what you do. Do a Michael Conforto elbow in the strike zone if you have to. I don't care how you get the run in. Look, they had better at bats in that inning, and that was the important part there, right? Lindor pissed me off. I was live during the game. I was pissed off. Like he pissed me off because I thought he was going to come through, and because he had good at bats the whole game, but he didn't. But hey, I'll give it up for Pete Alonso. He didn't have to swing the bat, even though we were waiting. You even said it, heck, in the group chat or in the chat itself. What did you say? You said if the ball was on the opposite side of the plate or in the batter's box, he would have swung at that slider. So
if it was a right-handed pitcher, and I was going to comment before that in the chat, and I said this. I was thinking the whole time, please hit this guy with a pitch. Please hit him with a slider. That I know you're going to try to break in. But I'm telling you, the immediate thought in my head was when I saw that pitch, if this is a right-handed pitcher and that slider's breaking away from Pete into that left-handed batter's box, we would have seen him swing right through it like he did the previous at bat. I'm sorry. I love Pete. I want Pete to be a Met. I want Pete to succeed in situations like that.
Yeah.
But the reality is the reality. I don't know the numbers. Maybe the numbers say otherwise. But I think it's safe to say that more often than not, he doesn't come through in those situations.
Under
But
200.
I'll take it. I'll take it right there. I'll take that hit by pitch. I'll take that time run however we can get it. It doesn't matter. And then, that dude Alvarado, I think we've gotten to him. So every time I see him come in the game, I feel confident when he comes in the game. Now, did we hit him around today? No, he did us a favor. Walk guys, wild pitch, hit by pitch. Oh, I don't even know. Was that called the wild pitch or pass ball? I don't know. I guess they could have given it a pass ball
because he got the glove on.
That's what you get with these catchers now, trying to frame everything. Like everything doesn't need to be framed. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes these guys are so worried about framing they don't even catch the damn ball because they're trying to snatch it back. Make sure you catch that ball first. That's your first priority, especially with men on base. But you know what? I don't care. Make all the mistakes you want, Philadelphia. We'll take it. So, I'm watching that at bat, and I was thinking like, oh my goodness, this could get ugly right here. But he hit him with the pitch, and yes, thank God that the guy was left-handed because he was right-handed, and we might be singing a different tune here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And Daniel's saying in the chat right now, Rob, we did say let him self-destruct. I said it right before the ninth inning, the top of the ninth started. Alvarado self-destructs. If he's wild with his pitch, he got nasty stuff. When he's wild with his pitches, he's in trouble. Just don't give him a bad at bat to him because if he's wild, don't swing. Like he's way out of the strike zone and he self-destructed on his own. Right? The Mets could easily gave him that game. Like we had an opportunity and it didn't feel like anybody was going to get a big hit. Like let's be honest about that. It wasn't feeling good, and I was honest about it. I felt like we can win this ball game if we let Alvarado self-destruct. He did, and we won the ball game because of it. I mean, the Mets tried to give it back in the bottom half, but it is what it is. So, Hayden, I'm going to get to you here. I know you said you were busy, you weren't really watching the games, but obviously you kept you updated on it.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but while I was during the game, I got more excited when the Mets came back and tied the ball game. I'm like, all right, they showed some guts, they showed some balls. That's what we've been talking about for God knows how many shows. They showed guts, and that's what we wanted to see. And maybe that's a good sign going forward. Maybe it's just one game and it's London and they weren't playing at home, so thank God. But what are your thoughts on this series? It was better than expected. And, of course, the Mets had to win in a certain way. So what are your thoughts on this London series? And do you take anything out of it going forward, coming back home for about 6-7 game stretch?
Yeah, I mean, the London series I think was exciting. I mean, I think first and foremost, I think it's great for Major League Baseball and expanding the game to play overseas in a foreign country. I mean, we see that the NFL is doing it with Germany, with London, with Brazil. And MLB's been doing it in London for the last couple seasons now. I think they did a series in Mexico. I mean, it's great for the game, but it was nice to see the Mets kind of have a new face in MLB. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I thought that I'll be honest, I thought the Mets were going to blow it up this series against the Phillies. I thought they were going to get destroyed. Game one, you take it as it is. Manaea really got lit up. And then game two, which is more the positive note. Both starting pitchers didn't do well, but you're fortunate enough that your bullpen helped carried. We're seeing being put in high leverage situations, who typically are not put in those high leverage situations, whether that's Danny Young, whether that's Nunez, whether that is, you could even argue Drew Smith, but he's kind of always been in high leverage situations, I feel. They've been clutch. We saw this team in the ninth inning today was able to manufacture runs, something that this team really does not do well in is manufacturing runs. And we saw it. Alvarado came out there. He exploded. He's a guy where he'll have his command. He'll strike out the side. He doesn't have his command. Walk, pass ball, hit by pitch, walk. And that's the type of pitcher Alvarado's been. I think it happened earlier this season. The Mets were able to blow up on Alvarado earlier this season. So it was a good series. You split it. I mean, honestly, I think Mets fans are fine with that. I don't think Mets fans expected to take two games from the Phillies in London. I think they easily could have. No thanks to Starling Marte, but that is what it is. And just another kind of comment that I do just want to mention, because I've been watching some Mets minor league baseball, and it's not much talent in the minor leagues in my opinion. But one name that stands out, and I don't know if he is like banned from playing at the MLB, but Mike Brasso. This dude is hitting 300 with a 900 OPS. Why the heck is he sitting in Syracuse when DJ Stewart, a bum, is going on for 4 every game? I don't understand that.
Mike Brasso, is that the guy from the Rays,
The
right?
Rays, yeah,
the
he
big
hit
home run
the
against the Yankees.
2020, yeah. So I don't know. That was just one thing I thought of. I know Stewart made a nice catch today, but
I didn't even know how long has he been with the Mets. I didn't even know we had him until about
I
Just
two.
didn't
minor
even
leagues
know
this
until
year.
like a week ago.
Yeah, I saw his name and I was like, oh crap, we got
He's
this
been
guy.
raking him and
Thompson,
yeah, Tracy Thompson.
15 home runs in Syracuse. How about that? Jeffy.
But,
All
we
right.
need DJ Stewart though.
Yeah. Where's his bobblehead? None. All right, guys. So, all right, Chris. So let's get to you
It's
here.
gonna be me for the rest of the night, fellas. Unless my arm falls off. Nah, my
I
arm's
never heard
already,
of that guy.
my
Trade
arm's
him
already
to,
falling off.
hey, trade him to Seattle. Come on. All right. All right, Chris. So, what are your thoughts
No,
about
man,
the?
I'm standing up for Jeff McNeil against all the haters, baby. There we go.
Trade him.
He almost got me 3 hits today, like I wanted to too.
Almost. All right, Chris. Let's go. What are your thoughts about the London series in a nutshell?
I think it was a series full of missed opportunities, to be honest with you. I
That's
think
a
that
great
this was a
point.
series, as a Mets fan, I watch this and I look at it and I just scratch my head because I'm like, I'm going to take the win all day long. Like, I don't think anybody's just not going to take the win. But, like, you look at how game one played out. By the way, completely different approaches at the plate than what we saw in Washington. Not sure if that's just like, I'm not going to even make any excuses for this team. You can make all the excuses you want, but the approaches that I saw, let alone the results, two different sort of just, I guess, processes for the Mets, right, in those two series. Nonetheless, regardless, start with game one. The obvious is Starling Marte. He goes down with a sore knee, gets scratched for the last game in Washington. We find out he has a sore knee. I believe either the post game or the pregame, whatever we did, Rob, or we did a series recap talking about that Starling Marte injury and wondering what this team was going to do in the outfield. Lo and behold, they put that guy out there in right field, and Sean McNeil wasn't the sharpest. He didn't have his best stuff, right? Sean McNeil has been up and down this season. I understand that. But you have a guy out there in right field battling knee soreness on a ball that I'm sure everyone now knows. If you're on X, if you're on Twitter, they do the bot calculations of the percentages of catches, or it should have been caught or should have not been caught. 95% catch probability on a looping ball. And I have to watch Starling Marte pull up on a baseball because according to him, he couldn't see it well, or he shaded over to the left, right center gap too far. Those are the excuses that are coming out of the mouth of Starling Marte, and I'm quite simply not here for it. But also, I also have to question, why was he even in right field in the first place, to be honest with you? I got to question that because he's got a sore knee. And honestly, I'm not going to say that lost us the ball game, because after that, everything just spiraled down. Obviously, we got to toss some blame to Sean Manaea himself, not putting the proper pitches out there, especially after that misplay. But a whole bunch of missed opportunities for the Mets after a 0-1 or 1-0 lead early on there. Nonetheless, doesn't matter. You move on to game two. And I also just feel like the second game, and of course, this is just me ranting about the negatives here. We'll get into some positives because there was really good positives to come out of this series as well that I saw from the Mets, but it just felt like so many missed opportunities. Situational hitting, again, we got a question. There's a runner on first and second with no outs. You don't move the guy over. You don't score in the inning. This is the best team, or one of the best teams in baseball that you're playing, and you can't afford to make these mistakes. Let's talk about Jose Quintana, because this guy's on his way out of here as soon as this trade deadline approaches. And I wouldn't even wait to that point because he's not giving you competitive starts. 3 2/3 innings today, 0 put away pitches. Countless of times, he's just giving the Phillies three free base runners. There was 3 free base runners in the very first inning. You load the bases with no outs, and of course, thankfully, they only score 1 run. But you can't put yourself in those sorts of holes. You can't. You can't. But I do like the way that the Mets fought back. Those are the negatives, and that's out of the way. I do like the way the Mets fought back. I have respect for that. The bullpen, as taxed as they've been, they kept this team in the ballgame. Drew Smith coming in a tough situation. Reed Garrett going extended innings as well. I know he put Drew Smith in that situation, but he was also already over 1 innings pitched. And I've been trying to lobby to just keep Reed Garrett in the 9th spot and just give him one inning, and that's it. But they extended him today. Maybe a little bit too far, but nonetheless. Dude, listen. This guy, Luis Torrens, man.
Yep.
I'm not sure what David Stearns had to do. I'm not sure what kind of research he's got. I'm not sure which one of the team members up there in the front office went up to David Stearns and was like, all right, listen, we got to get Narvaez out of here. But what a mid-season acquisition this has been for the New York Mets, and not even a couple of weeks in. This guy's power, he almost sent another ball out today, right center field at the warning track. His situational awareness as a catcher is through the roof. And honestly, a lot of people are talking about that misplay on the Francisco Lindor relay where it hopped over his glove. Listen, if y'all have never played on a turf field in baseball, that thing is nothing like grass. That didn't surprise me one bit that ball bounced over his glove. And yes, he probably should have fielded it cleanly. There's no excuse at the end of the day. But this guy's been playing solid baseball. And if you had to ask me before this series started and now even after, that's my backup catcher, Luis Torrens.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Tomas Nido. You're not outplaying Luis Torrens right now. Anyways,
Yep.
A couple of other things here before I end this rant, because I'm trying to just do this like in a nutshell recap. The actual London series itself was awesome. I don't care. Like, it could be exhibition feel, like you said, Rob, and it probably was. Like, guys enjoying their time out in London, etc. But my goodness, did the MLB drop the ball in terms of actually catering toward – they catered toward the Phillies just fine.
And the
But
Yankees,
catering at least a little bit and acting like the New York Mets are playing a baseball game and they chose to send the Mets out there across seas. Like, what are you doing, MLB? The Fox broadcast was horrible. I'm not going to say Michael Kay was horrible today, but nonetheless, it's Michael Kay. We know he's the Yankees announcer. He kept it fair. He kept it
He was
fair.
good. He was actually good today.
He was good.
Good. It's just like he's a Yankee guy. That's all.
Yes, exactly. That's
what I'm saying. And it's just like I have to listen to it with the Knicks. I have to listen to it with the Giants and all my other sports teams, especially the Rangers when they get on national broadcast media, especially ESPN, that has just this vendetta against New York sports all across the board. And now it's transitioned to baseball. And because they wouldn't talk about the Yankees in that kind of manner. No, never that. So let's just pick on the lowly Mets. Let's just do it in front of everybody for the world to see. I don't care. It is like, listen, this team is playing bad baseball, or they've played bad baseball, so I'm not saying that they don't deserve some of the brunt of the jokes, but it's just annoying for me to just go up there and I'm like excited to watch my team play in a series that they are advertising heavily, and I have to just take all the other bull crap that comes our way because of it. And I just wanted to point that out because I think it's ridiculous. Rob, you're 100% right. Garrett Stubbs, dirty slide today. That is old school baseball. 10 years ago, a decade ago, fine. You do that all day long. You do that as you please. Not in today's game. You don't do that. And this is that was also completely different than Rhys Hoskins. I think this slide was a little bit worse in terms of the optics than that Rhys Hoskins slide, because this is a catcher at the end of the day. We all know the Buster Posey rule. You can't do that. Anyways, I digress. The Mets will remember that. I promise you they'll remember that. And we'll see him the next time. Split for now. We'll see what happens next time. That's what I got.
These Mets will remember that? Really? I mean, do we really think these Mets will remember and do anything about it?
Let's see if they show something.
I bet you they will.
They've been getting hit by pitches and stuff for 3 years now. Do we saw the
but hit by pitches and dirty slides are another thing.
They didn't do anything about the Rhys Hoskins situation, did they? I don't expect this team to do jack shit, honestly.
I mean, they threw behind Hoskins. They threw behind him. I don't know.
They threw behind them. They threw behind
They're
Ugly. They threw
behind them.
behind who was the guy? Roger Clemens.
Clemens
That's
and
all they fucking do is throw
Estes
behind
and
guys.
all this.
Drill somebody if you really want to do something. Take a damn swing, a la Ramirez, a la Jose Batista if you really want to do something. But to hell with that
Well,
crap.
I tell you this, they weren't
I-
doing
I-
that in the London series. Everybody had to be on their good behavior during this London series. I think that's a fact, but we'll see.
There's
Look,
always an excuse. There's always an excuse.
I
We don't
agree.
want to get somebody suspended. We want to be on our good behavior. But on the London series and the coverage and all of that, like honestly, guys, honestly, what do we want them to talk about this team? You really want to hear about how much this team sucks?
No, but
We want to hear them talk about, oh, their future's bright because they have prospects in the minors. I don't want to hear that crap.
yeah, but heck, they have this set up. They have this play-by-play in the
The
group.
Mets haven't given them anything good to talk
I
about.
understand that.
What's there good to promote about the
But heck,
Mets?
you gotta understand something though. You
Oh,
gotta
Francisco
understand.
Lindor's 30-30.
They planned this group of people well in advance. So nobody knew what the Phillies were going to be or the Mets or anybody else. The fact of the matter is that they planned this very badly, and
Well,
everybody
that's
knows
their
it.
broadcasters, though. What do you want them to do? That's their broadcasters.
That's not their
That's what works for ESPN.
That is ESPN C team and D team, right? Michael Kay got on a flight 2 days ago to call one game. You get a Yankee announcer, a full-time Yankee announcer, to call a Mets and Phillies game. Give me somebody who, even if they're not neutral, give me somebody that's one side or the other. That might be a Philly guy or a Met guy.
But besides the announcer, okay, who we said was good,
He was.
Right? Besides that, what do we want them to say? Now, I didn't see the pregame yesterday. I guess the pregame was a little Yankee Central where A-Rod and that's ridiculous.
Move to Oklahoma. David Ortiz saying move to Oklahoma. Come on.
Again. That's the Mets creating that. It's the Mets creating that.
It's not the Mets creating that. No, because there's this vendetta against Steve Cohen and the Mets.
They suck, Rob. The Mets fucking suck. We say it all the time.
That is so much nonsense.
When other people
That's
say the
nonsense. That's nonsense. Because did you watch other games that other teams suck and they lost? Oh, don't worry, they'll come around. They'll come around. In 2022 was the same bullshit because Steve Cohen haven't been that against him.
Always want to blame the announcers of this. We want to act like Gary Cohen and these guys are the fucking greatest ever, which is nonsense to me. We're just used to listening to them all the time. This team stinks. We talk about it all the time. This team stinks. And when somebody else says it, we want to get upset and offended and get our titties in a bunch. No.
It wasn't what they said. It was about how they planned it.
Hector,
that's it.
Hector, you're a Knicks fan. You're a Knicks fan too. Listen, they do the same thing.
I don't get involved in that crap.
They
when
do
the
the
Knicks
same
need to be
thing.
talked about it, then the Knicks were trash for over 20 years, bro. And we're talking about the Knicks, the media hates the Knicks. I hate the fucking Knicks when they suck the way they do. I hate the Knicks when they suck the way they do, and I say it. And the same thing with the Mets. So I don't get upset when somebody else tells me they suck when I know what the hell I'm watching.
I'm just saying, there's an undeniable vendetta against New York sports.
Play this beautiful picture about what we know we're watching that freaking stinks.
I'm not. Nobody here is denying that we are watching the same baseball, and I'm not gonna lie to you. They're playing bad baseball, but it makes no sense to me. But nonetheless, to answer your question, Hector, I didn't see this. Did they have actually David Wright give an in-person, in-game interview like they did Chase Utley? Because I didn't catch it.
I didn't see that
I
either.
didn't see that. If they did, I didn't see it.
Because I missed it. So that's another one. That's another thing to just tell you right there, Hector. Of
By
like,
the way,
okay,
Doug Glanville was one of the color guys as well. So like, come on. I mean,
yeah. Anyways,
but
I digress.
let's
Let's talk product on the field.
I also don't know who they requested to speak to, and who they got
it was leaned the other way. It's obvious. We all know, but it's okay. It's all right then. We're going to talk about lineup changes now.
Because whoever saying it, why you guys arguing? Come on, guys. Come on. This is not arguing.
No, this is called the roundtable, right? It's discussions. All right, let's get to lineup changes because there's a couple of guys coming back, right? With Alvarez very soon, Diaz will be coming back soon, right? And that is something to talk about as well. Senga is probably after the All-Star break, so I'm going to leave him out a little bit. But Alvarez and Diaz, right? Two additions that, let's be honest, this team needs back in a big way. Luis Torrens, He's going to go back to earth at some point, but he will be the backup catcher once Alvarez comes back, as Chris said. I think everybody agrees with that. So, Chris, I'm going to come back to you real quick. With lineup changes, right? We know Alvarez is going to be in the starting lineup. We know Diaz. I'm thinking they're going to put him right back into the closer situation because he did pitch well today. He only pitched about an hour ago. He pitched pretty well today, so it's looking like he's on the track as well. But when it comes to lineup changes, right? Where are you going to put Alvarez in the lineup? Diaz could be the closer, but lineup changes in general, right? I'm still complaining about Nimmo in the third spot. I know you and Hector are on that bandwagon, so that's fine. Listen, he got a crucial hit today to get us back into the ball game. That was great, but I feel like he's still trying way too hard to be that run producer. He's not, and that's fine if you don't agree. That's the whole point of this. Lineup change wise, do you think there's going to be a little bit of a shakeup because Alvarez can easily go into that 3-hole and maybe Nimmo goes maybe in the 2-hole and maybe Alonso 4th, Martinez 5th? It extends your lineup a little bit. What are your thoughts?
I don't think they're going that drastic. I think the top 5 are staying the same. Let's be real here. I think the top 5 are staying the same. We can talk X's and O's, and I understand people pressing the panic button on the Nimmo 3-hole situation because in general he hasn't looked great there, and I will be objective in saying that. But I do think that if he sticks there, like I won't be mad personally. One, because I called for it. Two, like he definitely has a clutchness about him. You saw it today that this 3-hole, like that position can benefit from. But nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. I think the top 5 are going to stay. My thing is that what do the Mets have in store for Starling Marte? Like, is that knee soreness going to be a focal point to get him like less playing time? Because he's been a great hitter for us. He just can't play defense to save anything. Like he's ranked one of the worst right fielders in all of the game right now. Yeah, it's brutal. Statistically, he's one of the worst defensive right fielders. He's hitting the piss out of the ball, which I love. But like, you can't sell me on run prevention and then just have a guy like that out there continuously pulling up on baseballs that he should be catching. And then him just making every excuse in the book in the post game. But then you also run a problem that you already have a solidified DH in JD Martinez. And I guess he's a different discussion because a lot of people are still not sold on JD Martinez and the sort of production we're getting out of him consistently. I think he's been fine. I think he's been serviceable. And like you and I said on your live stream today, he was never meant to be that guy that people supplement. Like he supplements this lineup, not the other way around.
He was supposed to be that protection everybody was looking for. Come on, guys.
Oh, but it's supplemental. It's supplemental. So that's supplemental. He's not the main guy.
Anyways, for me to round this out, I think the top 5 stays the same. If anything, I'd probably put Mark Vientos, if anything, in that 5-hole. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Brett Beatty. He got a nice hit today. Made a couple good plays, but I mean, you really can't take Mark Vientos out of that third base spot. He's earned it. You can't do it.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that.
Maybe they leave Beatty on the roster to maybe sort of platoon in that DH spot, but I don't know. Anyways, Alvarez bats 7th. I think Alvarez batting 7th gives you the most flexibility in this lineup. And as for Edwin Diaz, with the way this bullpen's been taxed so far, I know it's kind of a stretch to say that he should come back and be the closer, and I probably wouldn't go as far to do that. I'd probably try to ease him into that, but I think with the way this bullpen's been taxed over the last couple of weeks, as soon as he gets back, first guy and then the first save opportunity is going to be Edwin Diaz. Whether you agree with it, whether you don't, I think that they're going to do that. So that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, the Senga injury timeline, does that surprise anybody? It's not going to surprise me 1 month from now, 2 months from now, they're going to shut him down. We're not seeing Senga in 2024 if I'm being objective here. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I eat crow on that, but that's what I firmly believe. So we'll see what happens with that. But at least we have some positive reinforcements coming. Hopefully it makes the play more consistent. That's all we can hope for.
Well, we do need consistency. All right, Hayden. So what do you think about lineup changes? Are you on board with keeping the 1 through 5 the way it is, even when Alvarez comes back, or even Marte for that matter? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, I think it's going to be a day-by-day scenario. I think just with how this lineup is, if they stay consistent, if it ain't broken, don't change it. You know, it'd be nice to add a little bit more power to the top of the lineup once Alvarez comes back. But honestly, I don't really want to add, I guess, the pressure of him. Like I said, Alvarez is a guy I want to ease back into it. I do agree with, Chris. I think Torrens is gets the number 2 spot every day of the week. It's nothing with Tomas, it's just Torrens is outplaying him. It's as simple as that. And I agree. I'm sure he'll come back down to reality. But in the meantime, this is just how it's going to be. And yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping Alvarez can bring a little spark, performance wise, and obviously clubhouse guys. We all know how fun it was last year for that little baby Mets thing, and obviously you have 3 of those 4, hopefully playing next week. I mean, we're going to see how Beatty is. I agree with everyone. Vientos has purchased that third base position. That's his every day of the week. Sorry, Beatty lost. It's as simple as that. I mean, Vientos got it, no doubt. But overall, yeah, I think this lineup, like I said, if it isn't broken, don't change it. They're manufacturing runs. They're not even hitting for power, and they're still scoring, 7-8 runs a game. They're, like we said, manufacturing runs, and that's what this team needs. Fundamental baseball, sack flies, advancing the runner. And if this lineup is going to do it, that's fine. In terms of Alvarez, yeah, he'll probably be batting in the bottom of the order. Honestly, like I said, it's probably going to be pretty similar. I agree with Chris. 1 through 4 at least is going to be the same. 1 through 5 probably as well. So getting Alvarez back is going to be huge. Another power bat catcher. You can get more offense out of your catcher position. Getting Diaz back. Yeah, getting Diaz back is going to be huge. This bullpen is extremely overtaxed. I'm sorry. Garrett Reed, yeah, he's come back down to reality. He sucks. I don't really have any more trust and faith in him. Let's be realistic. I don't think any of us expected him to be this, Cy Young caliber pitcher for the whole season. But, it's fun while it lasted, I guess. I mean, that's how relievers are. They have a good month, and then, that's how it is in baseball. But, yeah, Diaz really is going to need to come back and, not even so much be the 2022 Diaz. But we can't be having this walking, the ballpark. Command is going crazy. He needs to be consistent. As simple as that. This bullpen is overtaxed, and I agree. I think Diaz is going to get the first closing opportunity he gets, and that's going to tell the story, I think, for the future for Edwin Diaz in the closer role. I think he's going to get a shot, and hopefully he could get it. If not, then, the Mets are going to have a conversation on where Diaz is and who is the closer. Is it going to be closer by committee? We'll see. And then last but not least, Senga. Yeah, I mean, like I said, at this rate, I don't even know. I feel like it's every week I hear that his start is getting pushed back another 4 or 5 days. He's not, doing any baseball activities or anything like that. So I hope to see him pitch in 2024. Like I said, it'll be after the All-Star break. So hopefully, maybe the Mets can go on a little run. We'll see. But like I said, at the bare minimum, you have 2 guys coming back that could really help out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said something, Hayden, there that I actually like. Look, we know home run is the game now, but the Mets have been scoring a ton of runs with situational hit-ins, smart at bats, better at bats. Like today, where they worked a lot of the counts, they made Alvarado work. Even Walker, they couldn't touch Walker today, but they still were able to, I guess, get him out of the game, because what happened in the last inning he was in. He was kind of a little wild in that inning, and it was working the counts, even though he was untouchable. For some reason, Rob Thompson took him out, and kudos to Rob Thompson there for taking him out, because I don't think the Mets would have touched him if they would have kept him in. But it got us back into the ball game, and it wasn't with home runs. Even though everybody loves the long ball, everybody loves the home runs, it's important for them to have quality at-bats. And situational hitting are very much quality at-bats. It works the hitter. It works the pitcher more. The pitch count goes up. It keeps the defense, their team on the field longer. And it just benefits the Mets overall, because they're not a big power hitting team, even though they hit a good amount of home runs this year. There's still more of that situational hitting team and provide that power when need be. So that's a great point that you made.
Rob, situational is the right word here, and you say working counts, but I will say, how big of a proponent I am. If you get a first pitch strike, you better swing at it. And JD Martinez, what did he do today? What did he do today? I'm just saying, this is my problem, is that today These guys were watching strikes 1 and 2 go, and then they were looking at the third one, and it was a snowball effect. So it really does depend on the game flow. I will say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on the pitcher because Walker was throwing hanging curveballs all game early on
All
in the
day
first
long.
couple of pitches, and they were just looking at him. Like you got to expect those, even fastballs right down the middle. But you know what? When Alvarado came in, they clearly had a game plan. Whoever had that game plan ready to go, they were ready. They were on it. All right, Heck. So I'm going to get to you when it comes to lineup changes. I know you're a big proponent of what this lineup looks like now, at least the top of it. What are your thoughts? Do you like that 1 through 4? Even when Alvarez comes back, what do you expect from this lineup changes, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing is we say lineup changes, but I don't consider guys coming back as a lineup change per se, right? That's just guys being reintegrated back into the lineup. The lineup change is what we've seen when he's moved Francisco Lindor to 1. But those are lineup changes. Those things mean something. So when we talk about lineup changes, I did a video a couple of days ago saying I think this team needs one more lineup adjustment, one more lineup change. And to me, that would be to move Pete to 4 so he can be just that slugger, that home run hitter, that masher that he is. Pete is not good enough to hit 2. Pete is not Mike Trout. Pete is not Aaron Judge. Pete is not whoever you want to look around the league now when they say, oh, we'd like to put our best hitters to hit 2nd. That's not Pete Alonso. I'm sorry. Maybe on the Mets, but not even. He's not. So I don't like Pete hitting 2. I don't like hitting 3rd because I'm the senior citizen here. Traditionally, your best hitter hits 3rd, right? Pete Alonso is nowhere near your best hitter. So with the team the way it is right now, no, I'm not putting Francisco Alvarez to hit 3rd. He hasn't shown to be a good enough hitter to be 3rd. He hasn't played in more than a month, right? So no, I'm not doing that with him right now. I'm not going to put Mark Vientos there. He's as good as he's looked with his 330 batting average. That's not him. We know that. He's been better. He's shown great plate discipline even today. He drew a walk that was pretty damn good. I thought he took some very close pitches, But no, I would put JD 3rd. I would put P4. I'll put Nimmo 2nd, and I'll keep Vientos 5. And 6, you could go Marte, McNeil, whoever the hell you want. And then I'll probably slot Alvarez 7 right now, just to start out. I'll put him there, and I think he'll play his way back up to the top of the lineup, a little bit higher. But that's where I'm with that. You guys also touched on the bullpen and how that's gonna move around. Listen, Edwin Diaz is the closer. Edwin Diaz is the closer, and he needs to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's not that Reed Garrett is, not good or anything like that. He's good in a certain role. And if we're able to put him back in his role, I'm pretty sure he can be what he was early on in the season. We've asked him to step up. And like often happens on this Mets team, when we ask these relievers to step up, they can't get the job done. It doesn't matter who it is. Drew Smith, Adestinko, Reed Garrett, we've seen it now. Even today, I thought these guys, every single one of them was pushed a little bit too long. I thought Nunez was left in there a little too long. I thought Garrett was left in there a little too long. I honestly, guys, we were, throwing it around in your life. Who's going to close? Who's going to close? Who's going to close? And I think I said in there, I guess you have to give Drew Smith the chance. Not that I trust him, because I don't trust him for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's the next guy to get a chance. We've already seen everybody else fail. And if it was up to me, I would have liked him to Yankees about to get swept. Unreal. Where the hell was I? I would have liked to see Drew Smith. I'm sorry, guys. I would have liked to see Drew Smith start that inning. I would have. I thought, to bring him in there like that, I said, oh my gosh, this guy's for sure not going to get it done. And we saw what it took. Which is the other change that we may see, and is who's going to be the backup catcher on this team. I will say this, guys. Luis Torrens is not no rookie. You know what I'm saying? Luis Torrens is what he is. Someone who was in the Yankees minor league system or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? He's come here. He's gotten off to a great start. He seems to be on top of the game. Today, that wasn't so much a physical play as a mental play and knowing what the hell is going on. I saw somebody comment on X. I don't know if it was on one of my posts or their own post, but I saw somebody say Narvaez wouldn't have known what the hell to do. And he's probably right. Yeah. He's probably right. I think Needle might have known what to do. Yeah. But listen, I saw that ball. I'm thinking, make sure you tag the play. Do nothing else but get back to that freaking home plate and get that out first. And then we'll worry about if we could get a double play. And he was able to do both. So, listen, the dude, I love his approach at the plate from the first at bat that I saw him take on the Mets. And I saw him with the Yankees a little bit when he was up with the Yankees, whenever the hell it was, a couple of years ago and all that. But I never really paid him no mind. He's just a backup, whatever. You know what I mean? He is what he is.
Yeah,
but when I saw him with the Mets, I was like, man, I like this guy's approach, taking the ball the other way, not trying to do too much, taking what's given to him, which is something that I don't think these Mets guys do. Like you see Pete, and it's like, yo, dude, stop trying to hit that damn grand slam. Yeah, the grand slam is beautiful, but it's not really what we need right now.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't try to hit it, you'll probably hit it. So I'm with you guys. I think I'm with you guys right now. Torres is probably the guy. I think because you have to play this game, guys. You have to play this game. It also depends on who has options or not. So, because you may not want to lose either one of those guys. I know we hate Tomas Nido, but Tomas Nido is an adequate backup, but it's someone that's good to have for when you're in a pinch. Think about it. If we didn't have Tomas Nido, we would have been dealing with Omar Narvaez this whole time as a regular catcher. That would have been dreadful, the way that guy plays. That guy is tough to watch. You know what I mean? So I'm with you guys. It'll probably be Torrens, and it wouldn't upset me. But yeah, no, we need Diaz to get back to just being competent closer. I'm not going to say 2022 Diaz because I think if anything, that's the outlier. We need him to be somewhere in between 2022 and I don't want to say his worst Diaz, but his mediocre Diaz. Somewhere in between.
2021.
Yeah, 2021 where we was like, okay, maybe this guy can make it here. Maybe he can figure it out here because we thought that, Edwin Diaz is not made for New York. And the last thing is because it's been brought up a couple of times, and I just been here shaking my head the same way I've done on X, and I do on a lot of these things. And again, I'm the senior citizen here, like one of you guys said earlier. I'm used to guys barreling over each other. I was a catcher growing up, playing Little League, high school, all that stuff, and I lived for that stuff. I lived for a player at the plate and for somebody to try to come run me over. Let's go. I was ready for it. Now, I do think about it, how ignorant that was, how stupid that was, how as much as I thought I was getting ready, if somebody really came and caught me blindsided, I was in fucking trouble. But I look at that play today. Come on, guys. I understand the rules today. Relax. You guys went off on it. I got you. I'll let you guys go off on it again. I understand the rules. You guys are right. With the rules today, you can't even touch these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But come on, it's baseball. And I can't stand for I'm just going to let this guy turn this double play. So, yes, slide through there and take him out. It's not like he barreled into him. He slid. He slid right through him. You want to say he slid late? I don't know. But I really don't have a problem with the play at the plate. I just don't. I'm sorry, I don't. And I know I'm in the minority of this. I really do.
Well, I wouldn't say minority because I think that's a baseball slide, and I played during that time when I used to get spiked almost every single time at third base when guys used to come in feet first. But again, because of the rules, I don't believe, in my opinion, it's not a dirty slide, but the rules are the rules. The problem is the catcher gets relaxed in those situations because of the rules, and it puts them in vulnerable situations. And that's when people can get hurt, when their slide might be a little late. His spikes were up. Like, I know what he was trying. He was trying to break up the double play. We all know baseball. We all understand that was the point. But I tell you right now, that play would have got reviewed, and I guarantee you, they probably wouldn't have overturned it, but it would have been reviewed for an illegal slide. But
because at the same time, Torres kind of gets in his path, right? He has a right to go towards home plate and slide.
Well, no, he did step
right in front of him as he steps on the plate, and he slides through.
He had a window. He actually moved back in to slide into his legs on purpose. If you look at it, he contorts his body in a way. He had a lane. I think he had a lane.
But Hector, you said something about extending the bullpen arms today that, a lot of people weren't happy with that, but he did it with Nunez and Garrett, who's been their better bullpen arms probably over the last month or at least 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, but Garrett's someone that we've seen that almost every time he extends.
I understand, but clearly Mendoza trusts them two guys the most out of anybody else. So that's why he extended them. Like I fought with Daniel in the chat. earlier today on the live stream because he was mad that Nunez was pitching into the next inning. And I was like, who do you want? And he said Drew Smith. And I'm like, seriously, that's where we're going? We're gonna go into Drew Smith when everybody wanted him off his team last year during the offseason? Like, he doesn't trust anybody. Like, I don't care who you would have put in there. Somebody would have gave up that home run to give the Phillies the lead. It was just a fact. Like, it's the Mets, guys. We know this. But the fact is, he don't trust nobody. So he is going on a win. He's like, all right, maybe I can extend this guy that I trust a little bit more, and it backfired. That's okay. It happens because I guarantee if he would have put Drew Smith in a clean inning and he gave up that home run, everybody would have went nuts that he put in Drew Smith. So you can't be the Monday morning quarterback or wait for the results and then complain that the pitcher was in there when you didn't when the inning started. So look, it happens. I understand what Mendoza was doing, going with his trusted guys, and he ended up having you guys that he probably don't trust. But they got the job done somehow, some way, and we get the win and we move on to the homestand, as we're going to talk about over the next 10 minutes or so. So, homestand, 6 games, 3 against the Marlins, 3 against the Padres. This is the look. We talked about the 10-game homestand. That was the biggest. Somehow,
no, Rob, you can't go back on that.
Hold on. Wait, but for some reason, in the 2 and 3 and 7, 2 and 8 in the homestand, whatever the hell they were, it was terrible. They ended up gaining a half a game in that homestand somehow. They actually gained a game today. In this, for somehow, some way, they still remain 3 games out of a wild card spot. I don't know how they do it. It's magic. I tell you, I don't even know. They don't even have to win games to gain games for some reason. So, so this homestand, look, the Padres are in front of us. They're one of the teams in the wild card spot. By the way, 1 game under 500. By the way, is for the 2nd and 3rd wild card team. So there's a chance for all these teams that are fighting for a spot. But anybody below the Mets, to be honest with you, because those are way down. But for some reason, the Mets are 3 games out, right? And this homestand, you're facing the Marlins, which the Mets need to beat. I'm sorry. 2 out of 3 is a minimum. A sweep is probably, I'll be happy with the sweep, but it should be, hey, we got to sweep this team. They're not very good. They're terrible. You got to beat this team. 2 out of 3 at least. And the Padres, a team in a wild card spot, 1 game under 500, who are still not playing well, by the way. They are not good. They're not good right now. They got a lot of star talent. They got a lot of guys on the roster. They spent a ton of money, but they're beatable. Everybody else beats them. The Mets are got to go in. Look, they got to have a really good homestand. You know, I'm not going to give a record in this homestand because I got burned last homestand, and fuck the Mets because of that. But Hayden, I'm going to go with you because, you know, I know you were spot on with this the last homestand. I think you said 1 in 9 or something like that. You were close. So I'm going to go with you again on this homestand, 6-game homestand, another big one. They ended up being 3 games out of a wild card spot, which is, it's a magician. Like, they do Houdini stuff somehow, some way to keep this wild card situation in play at least. How do you feel about this homestand? Do you have any confidence that they can actually have a good homestand? Oh, Chris is shaking his head already.
Yeah, I mean, you simply enough need to. I don't know what it is with this team, but I feel like they're completely horrible at home, and then on the road they're a completely different team. They're an adequate, playable team. But then for whatever reason, I mean, at home they just absolutely suck. I don't know what that is. Now would be a great time to change that. Like I said, the Marlins are coming into town for a 3-game series. I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree with Rob. You should at least, at the minimum, the floor, take 2 or 3. Sweep would be nice. Like I said, you're coming in. You're facing 2 lefties to start off in Jesus Luzardo and Braxton Garrett, 2 guys that have really struggled a lot this year. And then for game 3, you are facing against some dude I've never even heard of. And I live in Florida, so I watch a lot of Marlins games. So that proves my point. Yeah, you need to capitalize. Like I said, you know, clock is ticking each day closer and closer to the All-Star break. Clock is ticking to the deadline. Every game counts. I mean, and I know that's my mentality in baseball. I feel every game counts. Look back to 2022. Every game counted, and it sure proved that way. Look at the Braves.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I think biggest takeaways is just pitching, stay consistent. Like I said, we're gonna see a lot from McGill and Peterson. This is gonna be a big start for them. Arguably one of their biggest starts of the season, in my opinion. So we're gonna have to see what McGill and what Peterson can do if they can be consistent, keep their pitch counts low. I will give that some of Peterson and McGill's starts recently. Their pitch counts have been low, so I will take that. That's definitely a good thing. Offense needs to show up. They need to continue to manufacture runs, and most importantly, not blow the game. I mean, that Giants series was a disaster. That Dodger series was a disaster. I mean, simple as that. I'm not completely bought out and sold on this team yet. I still want to see a lot more from them. So it's a 6-game set. I'd like to say 4-2, but I'm probably going to say they go 3-3.
Okay, well, you know what? They might actually gain 2 games in this aspect with the way the NL is. But all right, heck. So homestand. I know you're probably going to be at some of these games because you're a nutcase like me. If I was in New York, so when the Mets lose, blame Hector because he's always there.
This
so
year
heck,
especially, I don't think we I got an under 500 record. I'm not even gonna lie. It makes me sick.
don't we all?
It makes me sick.
I mean, yeah. All right,
But you're
homestand.
right. I probably will make my way out there. I was
Now we got to get Chris at the games.
thinking about that.
Yeah, they win when Chris goes.
For real. I was almost ready to do a GoFundMe to send Chris to London. Trust me. I told him in the chat, like, yo, you need to get out there, brother. I don't know what the hell you're doing, but at least we got this.
Homestand predictions. What do you got? What do you want to see from this team? What do you need to see from this team?
Well, the first thing I seen here was, and I haven't been paying attention, the Nats swept the Braves.
Yeah.
This weekend?
3 of 4, Hector. 3 of 4.
Okay, 3 of 4. Okay, now I just saw here somebody said the Nats swept the Braves. So 3 out of 4. Wow. Okay.
I thought the Nats were good. I mean, bad.
No, I don't even care if the Nats are good or bad. Those are like opportunities that you want to take advantage of, and you want to try to win on the same days that these guys lose, right? Both the Braves, Phillies, and anybody on top of you. And it's something that throughout the years, it seems like the Mets are never able to do. You know, the team they're chasing loses, and they lose as well. They win, and the team they're chasing win, whatever. But as far as the homestand, what is it? Is it 6 games or 7 games? 6 games, right? 3-3 Marlins and the Padres. Listen, you got to sweep these dudes. You got to sweep these Marlins. You know what I mean? Sweep the Marlins. Yeah, you want to try to win series. It's the main thing now, right? We said this in the last round table. I said this in my videos. Go out there and win 13 or 15 series or whatever the hell it is. 7 out of the next 10 series. 8 out of the next whatever. Whatever how many series there are before the trade deadline, before you actually got to start making decisions and stuff like that. Go out there and consistently start winning series. And while you do that, pull off a couple of 7-8 game win streaks or whatever the case may be to really show that that's what needs to happen, Rob.
No, I know.
That's what needs to happen, right? Because like I said before, everybody keeps talking about, oh, buy or sell. What do you do? To me, it's not so much so about the record. Like everybody wants to talk right now. Oh, but we're 3 games back, or we're 2 games back, 4 games back, whatever the hell it is. Because I don't look at the standings. I keep saying that. I do not look at the standings at this time of year. I look at how my team is playing. And the way that my team is playing, it has no business in any freaking playoff. Okay? And if it was to get into a playoff, I have no hope, no expectation for them to do anything. You understand what I'm saying? The way they're playing right now. So, yes, the league is keeping them in playoff contention. The league is keeping them in wildcard contention. It's not because of the way they're playing. And I do trust that if this team keeps playing as bad as it is, as inconsistent as it is, doesn't matter what the hell the record says, this front office may say, you know what? It's just not worth it. We see it again that these guys are just not good enough for another year. And they may go kind of the same route that they went last season at the trade deadline and just sell whatever they can. I really do think that. But I also trust that if the team is playing better, they will make the adequate moves. Not, oh my God, not mortgaging the future, not anything like that. Is this guy really a Met fan, this Hayden dude? What do we got now? Today we got a Tigers hat. Last week it was an Orioles hat. Listen,
I knew he was going to say something.
he's happy that the Yankees now freaking hit a fucking bomb, Grisham hit. Jesus, anyways. But again, the Yankees. Why do we even have this game on? Jesus, someone's not even playing, and I got this stupid game on. But where was I?
Finish it up.
Man, just go sweep the Marlins And I don't know what the hell the Padres are doing. I really don't give a damn what the Padres are doing. Go
Beat
get
'em.
2 out of 3 from them and give this front office a reason to make some moves to try to bolster this team, whether it be the bullpen, whether it be another starter, whatever it is. I don't know where you're going next. I don't know if we're going to have closing thoughts. I don't know if this was it. I know some of these guys got to go, and I don't know if we want to go overtime with these guys leave. But I'll say this too. I'm done with Jose Quintana. Done.
Unfortunately.
I don't give a damn if they DFA his ass. I don't give a damn if he has an option to send to them. I don't care what they do. Maybe you want to try him out in the bullpen. I do not need to see this guy start again and give me the same crap in the post game about my location, about this. Done. Done. Give me Christian Scott up here. You know what I'm saying? Give me anybody. Give me CP with his 85-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't give a damn. I am done with Jose Quintana. I don't want to see him again. I said it before. This guy he's starting to pitch now for his spot in the rotation. To hell with the rotation. I don't even think you should have a spot in this roster right now, honestly speaking. It just doesn't make, whether you're trying to win games, whether you're trying to look towards the future, whatever the hell the plan is, Jose Quintana is not part of it. And Shamanaya, look out, because you're right behind them. And we can stick your ass in the bullpen too. I kept hearing about how you did well last year. Well, go in there and help this bullpen out.
Well,
and the last thing, and we're coming back because I do want to say one or maybe two things if we do a closing argument, but not argument, but a closing, whatever the hell. Fuck it, I almost lost my. CP said it before, and I kind of shook my head. Guys, I don't give a shit how many innings Kodai Senga has to pitch for his option. That dude is not pitching this year. And he might not pitch next year. I am telling you right now. Kodai Senga is not pitching this year, and he might not pitch next year. Which even more strongly makes me feel like this team needs to start conversations with Luis Severino to really be the anchor of this rotation and the leader of this rotation. I've been saying it for a while. I did a video on it maybe a month or so ago saying, yo, I want Severino to be I'm going to call it the CC Sabathia type of this rotation. Maybe not as good as CC, but that leader, that anchor, that, you know what I mean? That dude. And I think he could do it. And it's someone that's shown he can play in New York, who wants to be in New York, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're spot on about Severino. I mean, me and Chris were on Severino since the offseason when we got him. People hated the move. They thought $13 million was a lot of money for him. I thought he was going to have a bounce back year, and I felt like if he's healthy, he has one of the best stuffs in baseball. And if you can keep him healthy, he will pitch well for you. And what is he? A little over, what is he? A 3.2, 3.5, 3.3 ERA, which is.
I'm sorry, Rob. Gavo, he's not pitching this year because he can't. It's not about saving no damn bullets. Stop with this. You guys need to stop with all these conspiracies and all of this nonsense and listen to what the hell they're saying. They're trying to win ball games. The owner told you today, I don't give a damn about no trade deadline. They want to win. They're not trying to save him. Save him for what? He can't pitch. And he won't pitch until he gets his arm taken care of. I'm telling you right now. It's no conspiracy. It's nothing trying to save no bullets. He ain't got no damn bullets. He has blanks right now. And we ain't trying to shoot blanks.
Yeah, exactly. So look, Severino is the guy that I think everybody's probably I would try to work out an extension now just to make sure you have another guy in a rotation going forward, because you don't want to get him to the offseason and got to fight for, against other teams.
Again, Shay. Jacob deGrom knew his body. You forgot that? Jacob deGrom knew his body. That's what we heard. Oh, Jacob deGrom knows his body. It's about his mechanics. He's trying to make sure he's in sync. BS.
All right.
I agree. I don't think he's pitching. Anyways, I got to get out of here. So I'm going to get my closing thoughts. I do got to get out of here. I apologize for such a short notice. But I agree with the both of you. 100%. Luis Severino needs to be that anchor. He's gonna have to be this year by default. And two, like Rob said, you gotta work out an extension because honestly, even if the Mets are sellers, I think it's gonna have to be a hybrid sell. And one of those pieces that you shouldn't sell, even though you can because he's on a 1-year deal, he's still in the prime of his career. 3.25 ERA, 1.14 whip. Pretty good statistics is Luis Severino, who's completely turned it around after an abysmal year last year. I've been singing that tune. Rob, you have as well. This guy hasn't surprised me because I knew what he had. I know the stuff he has, his arsenal. Something just didn't click. Maybe he was tipping his pitches. Maybe he wasn't. Whatever it was, he got it fixed. The walks are still an issue. A little bit more walks than I would like. But nonetheless, he's been putting it all together. What I will say, though, is that my invisible watch here, the time's ticking because this front office, as soon as that, I don't even know when the deadline date is to call his ass back up from the minor leagues. But Christian Scott, I'm still pissed he got sent down. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still pissed. I'm still on it.
CP, watching these guys this weekend, Manaya, I was thinking the same thing. Like, yo, my man CP was right. What the F are we doing? Christian Scott should have been playing these games. I even did a video today, like, yo, all of this maneuvering we did, and these are the two guys that we lined up to pitch in London. This is how we want to showcase the Mets, and we want to complain about the broadcast. We need to showcase the Mets properly. We need to showcase ourselves properly, putting these two clowns over there. I don't even know how you have these two dudes back-to-back in the rotation. But go ahead, brother. I'm sorry cutting in on your time.
Oh, no. That's it. I'm glad you said that too and followed up. I'm glad because, like I said, this is it. The time is ticking because that was a mistake. Anyways, I really think that you have to start having conversations even before the deadline about obviously Christian Scott's going to be back up, but if you're not going to go to 6-man rotation, which they haven't. This hasn't been a 6-man rotation, by the way. They didn't deploy a 6-man. It never was a 6-man. I think we had some back and forth about that when Christian Scott, before he actually got sent down. This has always been a 5-man rotation. So I really don't think they're going to go to 6-man rotation. You just got to boot Jose Quintana out of here. You just got to boot him out. And honestly, I think that guys like, I don't know if you want to give like Dom Hamill a chance. I know Mike Vasil stunk it up in AAA. I'm not sure if they're going to even give him a chance this year as well. Maybe you just sort of fast track Brandon Spro. I don't know what you do, but you got to get Sean Manaea also to the bullpen because I'm really starting to see him also start to waver and those put away pitches aren't there. But listen, regardless, you got Jose Buto, you got Christian Scott for the time being. My final thoughts here is that with this homestand, 4-6, that's the number. And I don't know how many times they're going to try to put a number on a homestand for us to buy back in because they're just going to go. Seems like they're just going to crap the bed. They're going to somehow, by virtue of the NL being so bad, like Hector said, stay in the race in terms of the games back category. And then we're going to have to put another figure on the next homestand for them to try to hit. And it's going to be a snowball effect. So I'm like, I'm almost done because we already said that last homestand was like the do or die sort of homestand. And it's feeling like this one's going to be playing out the same way. But I don't want to say that. Just go play good baseball. Stack wins, like you said. Hector, stack series wins. 4-6 is the number. Hang around. And honestly, like I said, you got to convince the front office, screw what the fans think, because they're the ultimate ones making the decisions. So there's going to be shakeups, no matter if they're in it or if they're not. Like I said, hybrid selling is a thing, and you have additions by subtraction. So just internalize that and remember that. So let's go, Mets. I do got to hop on out of here. I appreciate every single one of you all that tuned into here on all of our channels. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Obviously, weekly content. Go follow at Mets RT Pod on X, Twitter. If you have the app, go over there and hit that follow button because you're going to be seeing updates on when we're going live. You're probably going to be seeing snippets of our podcast as well in case you missed it. All that good stuff. We appreciate it. We have it up and running. Rob is putting his heart and soul into this Roundtable podcast, as we all are, taking the time over here talking Mets baseball with you all, whether it's win or lose. And we're going to continue to do so. So shout out to everybody. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in a little bit. Let's go Mets. I appreciate you all. Hayden, Hector, Rob, good as always. See you all in the next one. Peace.
All right,
Yes, sir.
take care, brother.
All right, so as CP checks out, we got the other guys for us to finish out the roundtable with their final thoughts. Hayden, your final thoughts on this entire team, on this homestand, on the days ahead as we inch closer to the deadline and decision. D-Day is coming for this team either way. So what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just taking it game by game, day by day, week by week. They're kind of broken up into sections. We could sit here and, like I said, we could sit here and talk about a Severino extension. We could talk about, future contracts down the line. I say at this rate, focus game by game, series by series, and then once the deadline comes, that'll really determine a lot. That's really going to be a big sinking point, rising point of the season. Like I said, Mets can, I don't want to say the Mets control their own destiny, but
they kind of do.
They kind of do. The NL is garbage. You have what, 4 or 5 teams above 500, and everyone else is
now it's only 3.
What?
Four.
Phillies, Braves,
Dodgers, and Brewers.
4 teams. And everyone else is yeah, I know, I looked at my pennant thing too. Everyone else is mediocre. Everyone else is mediocre or sucks. And honestly, everyone is mediocre because everyone's like 2 games under 500. So honestly, I want to be surprised if this year the third wild card team is a game or 2 under 500, like we saw in 2020 with the Astros, or I think even the Brewers back then as well. So Mets control their own destiny. If they want to go out there and show and perform themselves well, go for it. But if they're going to go out there and go through the motions and blow a game left and right, blow a game in the 9th, blow a game in the 8th, strike out, double play with the bases loaded, so be it. But this team is capable of it. They're capable of it. We've seen it in the past. But, as simple it is to say we'll see. Because honestly, I don't really know what this team has in store for the next couple months. July 30th is the trade deadline date. I just found that out today, apparently. August 1st, Mets fans are going to be feeling a lot. Going to be a lot of emotions running through Mets fans' heads. And it could be good. It could be bad. So I think it'll be more one direction than none. But we'll see. I say right now, just there's really not much that else really needs to be said. Just go out there and play and try not to, look like an abysmal ball club. If this team is going to go out there and have the same exact type of homestand as they did against the Giants and Dodgers, goodbye. Football fans will be here. Yeah, so.
Yep, and make sure you subscribe to Hayden as well,
yes.
and mess up with Hayden and his Bills channel and his Islanders channel.
Yes.
Don't forget those guys; they're coming up soon.
Once again, especially a football channel, shock of the century. If you guys don't know by now, I'm a Bills fan. Bills Talk with Hayden is up and running. I have a couple videos on there, so if you want to subscribe, Bills Talk with Hayden, and a hockey channel will be out probably next month. I'm going to create that, so I'll have 3 channels for my 3 or 4 sports teams. And let's go baseball.
Absolutely. All right. Last but not least, we're gonna leave it to Hector, who was writing down his book. I think he's gonna have a memoir when he's all said and done. And Salicata is gonna write the first page and how much he loves the guy. And by the way, guys, we're getting Salicata on. I'm telling you that right now. Hector's working on it, and we're gonna get that on because he's enough.
Are we?
No pressure.
I'm putting the pressure, baby. I'm putting the pressure. I know you can do it. That's why I don't worry about it. All right. Final thoughts for this great team that we love so much but don't like us. All right. Give me your final thoughts, buddy.
My final thought is, geez, I better get to work. But my guy Junior, what's up, my dude? I was wondering where you've been at, man. I hadn't seen you up in here. So good to see you. Even if it's late, I know you go back and watch it. And yeah, man, for anybody that I always like to say this, man. If you're here live and you're commenting and you're watching and all that stuff, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much. But if you go back and you watch this on a replay, double that appreciation and that love, because that even takes even more effort, to more time. I mean, this takes a lot of effort too to come in here and plan around sitting and watching a live show. Let me not downgrade that. But it also takes time to actually go back and watch too. And we appreciate every single one of you guys. We really do. As far as closing here, I did want to touch real quick on my guy McNeil because we didn't really talk about it too much. And I'm wearing the shirt because Jeff McNeil for a while was my current favorite player on the Met, right? Or one of my favorite guys on the Mets. A guy that I really liked, until Alvarez came up and it was love at first sight. What judge me however you want for that. And Alvarez became my guy and is my guy. You know what I'm saying? But I do recognize that McNeil hasn't played well. I do recognize that McNeil's attitude, his pouting, his whatever you want to call it, can grind on a team. As someone who, himself is like that, who himself still, in my playing my little softball stuff, can get a little intense. I understand how that can affect the team negatively, and how I have had to work on that myself, But I also don't like how Jeff McNeil kind of became the poster boy, the scapegoat for everything wrong with the New York Mets right now. When we've seen guys struggle up and down this lineup all year, when we've seen guys bat under 200 for a long time, or close a little bit above 200 for a long time, where we called for, maybe this guy should get a day off. Not as a benching, but sometimes just give a guy a break. And we kind of saw it happen when guys were forced to sit because of sickness, because of a slight injury or whatever the case may be. When Lindor sat, when Nimmo sat, and he's able to bring him in a game, and they had success later in the game as a pinch hitter or whatever the case may be. But, hey, there's been times this year where sit Pete Alonso down for a game. Give him a mental break. Don't even put your spikes on today. You're not going to pinch it. You're not going to do nothing. I want you just to chill, And we didn't see that. But, but we want to do that with McNeil. And now we're not only going to do it with McNeil. You're going to bench this dude for 4 games while telling me he's my second baseman. Give me a freaking break. I don't want to hear about this lefty nonsense. You don't bench a guy 4 guys in a row if he's just starting anything. Okay? And this is not Randy Johnson, Sandy Koufax, and Cy Young, and think about any other lefty you want. So I didn't understand that. I don't like that. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to show my guys some support. Because as long as he's with the Mets, I would like to see him succeed. Now, should they probably trade him and maybe maybe get some of that bullpen help that we're talking about or whatever the case may be? Yeah, they probably should. And don't wait till the trade deadline to do that.
Yeah.
And I always say this, don't talk to me about value, guys. Do not talk to me about value, because if we had any value, we'd be playing better. And we wouldn't want to trade them.
Correct.
We only want to trade guys when they're trash, but we want the best value. Get me the hell out of here. I can't stand this guy. I have people tell me, just DFA him. Who cares, Hector? Okay, come on. We're going to DFA him, right? We're going to DFA him. And then somebody even mentioned Kevin Biggio. Kevin Biggio's never done what Jeff McNeil's done. Kevin Biggio was just Craig Biggio's son. Let's be honest here. So I don't want to hear those comparisons. So, yeah, I'm rooting for McNeil. I want him to be better. But I want this whole team to be better. Yeah. And there's many a times that all these guys could have been better. And what I thought was done to McNeil, I don't want to say unfair because it's life. You know what I mean? And shout out to him. Who we didn't see much during this time. But the brief times that he spoke, even today, he seemed in good spirits. He seemed uncomfortable like McNeil always does in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Always seems uncomfortable. We're more comfortable in front of a camera than McNeil is. I guarantee you guys that. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to say that. The other thing is the whole Marte thing. I didn't touch on it too much. One thing that bothers me, and I guess I've been guilty of it sometimes. I don't like saying that guys are lazy. I don't like saying that guys are lazy, and I don't like to just dismiss things when guys say it. Right? It's what I don't understand about us, man. And it's the same thing where we criticize the team, but when somebody else does, we don't like it. And I get it. You want to defend your guys, and I'll shit on my guys, but don't you do it. I get it. But when Starling Marte tells me, yo, I don't like the way that we're being positioned, or I'm being positioned, I think we could do a little bit better with that on the card and all of that stuff. I listen to that because I question sometimes the way this team does things. I question sometimes this team's processes and how they're using stuff. And I say it all the time. You can have all the pitching labs, all the analytics, you can have all the best things in the world. If you don't know how to use it, you can work as hard as you want. If you're doing things wrong, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get bad results. Let me tell you guys something. I bought a table, right, to do this little setup that I'm working on. I was building this table. I screwed up. And one leg, I faced the wrong way. That cost me about 40, 45 minutes. Because I couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong. And I was working hard, sweating. But I was doing it wrong. So I couldn't finish until I realized, wait a minute, you dope. It's facing the wrong way. You see what I'm saying? So you can work hard, but if you're doing it wrong, it doesn't matter. The last thing real quick, you guys know how I like to do it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Again, I wasn't able to write as much stuff as I usually do, but I do want to point out 2 comments here. Eloise, who talked about the offense, and it's something that I was thinking too. It hasn't been great, and we still lack that clutch hit, that timely hit. But geez, what was it? Another 11 plus hits today? I know at one point we had about 11 hits. We've had about 5-6 games of double-digit hits. We just gotta figure out how to get that clutch hit, that situational hit, that key hit that drives in the runs. That's the issue right now. So the lineup changes, for the most part, have worked. Maybe not individually for some guys, like Brandon Nimmo's the one that has struggled the most, because even Pete has been a little bit better in the 2 hole.
Much more productive.
Don't go on your rant, Rob. I'm
just
kidding.
Sure.
Yes, Frank, I agree. Draft and development definitely is going to bring a championship. But in the here and now, if we can pull off a miracle, I'm all for it. So if somehow, some way we can get this team there before that, I'm with it. And then the other thing was, I think it was you, Frank, also, that talked about Steve and his promises and timeline and stuff like that. Guys, I've said it before, man. Hayden is big on this stuff. Hayden gets worked up by the timeline of the 3 to 5 years. And I think you said Frank Steinbrenner never did that. Steinbrenner had an every year timeline, guys.
Yeah.
Steinbrenner had an every year timeline. To Steinbrenner, every year that the Yankees didn't win, it was a failure. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get bent out of shape by what Steve Cohen said, because I expected to win. Let's be honest, guys. We had just come off, not just, but recently come off of 2015. We thought that team could possibly build upon itself, and it didn't. We had some guys come up that we thought, okay, we had been told the Dom Smith, the this, and that. We still had the Grom, right? We still had pieces that we felt like, we just need to add the right things to this team. Yeah. So when you tell me, the Mets are being sold, and it's to a billionaire owner, I don't give a shit what Steve Cohen said. My timeline, which is an every year timeline too, really became an every year timeline, because I'm like, okay, everybody gonna tell me about this guy's billions and how he doesn't care and how this is just a hobby and how he wants to win for his wife's dad and all of this garbage. Then let's go. So the 3 to 5 didn't really matter to me. And honestly, the dude tried. He's made mistakes. I'm not a defender. I'm not a Steve Cohen defender. I'm not someone who's going to be here and tell you, trust the process. Even though earlier today I said, I trust that this front office will know how to handle itself. But that doesn't mean trust the process. Because anytime they make a move, I will be there to either prop them up or to criticize them. You know what I'm saying? But Steve Cohen's tried. He screwed up. He had the wrong people in place. First with Alderson, then they screwed up with who they hired with the Porters and the Scotts. We're not going to get into that. And then Billy and Epler. Shout out to my guy Bobby Wallace for that. You know what I'm saying? So let's see now with this dude who everybody wanted. Well, let me not say everybody, because I didn't. Not that I didn't want him. I was just like, give me somebody in here. whether it be David Stearns or the next David Stearns or the next Theo Epstein. Give me somebody like that, somebody that's actually won. You know what I'm saying? But let's produce that guy if we can, just like we want to produce, or at least I want to, and I think you do too, Frank. I want to produce my own star. I want to develop my own star. Yeah, it's great to go get Juan Soto, but then it hurts me that Pete Alonso's not that star that we thought that he could be. You know what I'm saying? Because I do want that homegrown guy to be the guy to lead me to the promised land. Absolutely. So, you know, those are my closing thoughts. I have one more thing I was going to touch on, but I just lost my train of thought. I know you guys want to go. I have all night tonight, but I'm not doing this alone. So, yeah. And then let's, like we said, man, let's go out there. Let's handle business against these Marlins. I'm going to try to make my way out there to one of these games. And I'm going to try to make my way out there to one of those San Diego games too. I mean, that's a good game to go to. Although the weekends become a little bit harder for me with all the softball and baseball I try to play and all that good stuff. But yeah.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So Mets Roundtable Podcast, the official account on X is Mets RT Pod. Follow. We're gonna work on doing giveaways. We're gonna also work on maybe show T-shirts that I've been. Hey, listen, I got a T-shirt heat press now. I'll be making shirts left and right now.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. And we'll talk behind the scenes because we'll talk behind the scenes.
Absolutely. So,
Mike, my bad, Mike. I agree, Mike. I always think about the same thing. That trust the. There's nothing. I've told people, don't tell me trust the process. I hate that slogan. Trust the process. Where has that gone in that other situation? You are absolutely right, Mike. Trust the process.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
The process.
Don't trust that. Yeah. All right, guys. So follow the Roundtable Podcast on Mets RT Pod, and make sure you subscribe to all the channels as well as Chris, Hector, Hayden, and myself if you haven't as of yet. And before you go, make sure you hit that like button, guys. So when people want to watch it later on, it'll be at the top of the list for these type of content that they want to see. With that said, guys, another Mets Roundtable in the books. Everybody have a great night on X and on YouTube. We'll see you next time. Let's have a good homestand, guys, and have more positive talk on this roundtable because it was a good one today with a lot of positive talk. Got to keep it going, guys. The Mets are heading back to New York today after the London series. Let's see what they do at home. With that said, guys, have a great night.
Real quick, Rob, I'm sorry because what was it? Daniel's asking for what mine and Hayden's channel is. I think you can find my channel. I'm sorry, guys. I'm horrible about this. But Rob has it on his channel. He has I think the link to my channel.
I'll repost it.
Yeah, Rob was pretty good about that. I'll try next time to know exactly how to find my crap. But try to look at I think at Blunt Thoughts 13 or just Blunt Thoughts. Maybe you're able to find it. But yeah, man.
Type in Hector, he'll pop up.
Say again?
Type in your name, Hector. It'll pop up.
Well, I kind of changed that. You know how I was showing Hector? I changed that to Blunt Thoughts because that was
okay. Then it should be there. It should be there.
Yeah, sure. So it should come as Blunt Thoughts. But again, guys, thank you for even asking for that, for even wanting to watch my channel. And I may do a little solo maybe tomorrow on an off day. I don't know what to do myself on off days, so I may do that. And I was gonna ask. I was gonna be about it. I want to do one of those lives, so I may be doing one of those lives. What I don't know what you guys think if I should do a live and we could go crazy together watching the game like Rob does, you know. But yeah, man, shout out to all you guys. Good night, LFGM as always, and shout out to my guys, man. SMF, you guys know who you are. Check it in too.
All right, guys, have a great night. Let's go Mets. Let's get this homestand. Enjoy the off day, guys. See you next time. Good night, guys.
Meet the Mets, step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home